questions, I would like to go ahead and approve that, because those people do need their.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. I'm gonna turn the floor over to the city manager. Do you have any?
On that end, council, this is not gonna be an expensive item. It costs runs, we estimating around $2,000 to do. The one thing that I will caution the council on is if there's any other request like this, I would ask that we honor the same request.
Well, we've done it before.
Have we?
Not since I've been.
Have we? So we're setting a precedent, so just, I'm not familiar with doing this.
Understand that that's what
I'm
we're
trying to
doing.
Does the city usually do these?
Hector, I don't know.
I've never done one, 12 years I've been here.
In my
Not that I know
understanding, in our ETJ, we have other roads that are similar, so.
Does the post office do them?
of. I'm not sure, I mean, usually the contractor is embedded into, you know, like some of the
Developer.
apartment complexes.
Yeah, because we
Developer.
had Westview's done by the city, and then the developer went back, and like a few months later, we put our own on the property,
Your own, what?
the box.
Oh, they're not asking us for the box.
No, they're
Yeah.
asking
They're just asking us for the slab
Yeah.
on our right of way.
So they want us to build it, or they just want us to give them permission?
No, they want us to build it.
Because it's on our right of way.
That's what we'll be doing. From what I'm saying is, it's not a costly. This is what we would. be
It's not
doing.
costly, but we gotta be very careful where we step, because it could be,
You're setting a precedent.
I could say, I want one over here,
Yeah, you can.
and then you want one over here, and over there, and over
Well,
here.
pretty much, these people have been there for a while. I don't think everything that we're developing now is going through, we're doing plats, we're doing surveys, so we're gonna catch it. These people have been, there's more than 10 houses out there.
But I don't think it's the neighborhood requesting, I think it's the post office, right?
Well, that's.
Well, they
yeah,
can't
it's
get
just
mail in there.
So we don't know, we don't even know if the neighbors want it.
It reads the citizens that reside on South Pine Street are requesting delivery of their rent. So I don't know if they're requesting it this, or they're just requesting delivery of the.
Because whenever, at my house, whenever I couldn't receive mail, I went to go talk to them, and I told them I wanted mail, and they said, well, if you put a box, we'll extend the mail route further out. So I put a box, and they extended the mail route. Now, two people down the street now have mailboxes too, so now they even go further. So, I mean, I would just be interested to know if it's the post office
So who
requesting
put
it,
this item on
or-
the agenda?
It is something, we've never seen it provided. I don't know what, I get on that end from,
But somebody put this on the agenda.
I did.
Okay, so where did you get the request from?
We got it from
You want me to speak on it?
Yeah, it says right in our request, it says the post office.
The request came from the district manager, I guess, of the post
Postmaster?
office. Yeah, the postmaster.
I would say, we'll do it, but you pay for,
But it's on our easement, right?
It's on our right of way, correct?
It's on our right of way.
And part of the reason is because they're not going any further.
That's why they're not
End
gonna
of
drive
story.
in there.
They're not going any, they can't go further than that box and that's it, end of story. They're not
So I would just tell you again, this is within, you know, the scope, it's not a lot of money, but it is setting precedents and, you know,
And I won't come back to you for any more of these requests. I just wanna know how, whatever you decide on this one, I'll move forward with other requests in that same manner.
we have a motion.
Well, my
and a
motion's
second,
on there to go ahead and approve the concrete slab for the people on Pine Street.
But because you have a motion, it says that you have to vote for it, so we'll call for a vote, and if there's not enough vote support, we'll move on. If there is, we'll do it and move on.
Well,
So
people
there's-
can vote for whatever they want, I just don't want people, you're steering them and not to vote for it.
You know,
We,
they're free to.
we
they're
all
free
know how to
whatever they want
vote. We all know how a motion and a second works in a vote.
Okay, they're free to do whatever they want. Okay, is there any other questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's 3 for it, 2 for it, there's 3 against it, is that right? Yeah, 3 against it, so it falls on me. I am not gonna vote for it. Motion fails.
I would like Fred to go back and see if the post office is requesting it, or if the citizens are requesting it.
If I can get that information.
I can verify that. It's the post office.
It's the post office. The
No, I know,
people-
but is the post office requesting it because the
The people are obviously
Be-
going out there
because
wanting
the
their
people are-
mail. They
the
can't
people-
drive into the street.
Yeah, it
But-
says right there, they can accommodate, they can't
the-
deliver their mail.
The
So you
people
have like
beyond a
wait
certain
lists
point
and
are
they go out there and
asking,
They can't
And
get their mail.
get it,
for mail service, and they're not gonna concede and go past a certain point. so
It doesn't
they're
even
asking
matter,
for this
James,
box.
it failed and you can't talk about it anymore, so let's go to the next item.
Okay, going on to item number L, discuss and consider the city of Pearsall participation in the Great American Cleanup Campaign, authorizing the city manager to utilize city resources in support of this effort. I'm gonna ask for, this is an action item, I'll ask for a motion. Motion by Councilwoman Hernandez, a second.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Trevino. At this point, I'll turn the floor over to our city manager. Bianca, you're up.
Okay. Good evening, council, mayor, and city manager. So, brief description, the Great American Cleanup unifies and beautifies communities across the country in a grassroots spring cleaning movement. Celebrating its 24th year, the most recent Great American Cleanup created 15,000 opportunities for millions of volunteers to have remarkable results, picking up millions of pounds of litter, cleaning over 100,000 acres of public spaces, and tens of thousands of miles of roadways and shorelines. So, in our effort to be part of this movement, we are doing the brush pickup. What is the other one?
It's our brush and bulk pickup.
Brush and
This will
bulk.
be the first time I think they're both done at the same time. Maybe they have been done before, but this is what's, yeah. So you can see in your, what we wanna post, and we'll put this out tomorrow, this is approved by council, to go ahead, and we know the brush and bulk is gonna be, we have to do as part of our contract with the public services. The
This
one
is our
that is
second
not,
quarter.
the one that is not is the tire roundup that we are proposing. And that's May 17th through 21st. And you can see there, that'll be around the same time again. We'll be accepting scrap tires from 8 to 5 p.m. We're gonna have
Where do you
10
have that information at?
That's on page 137 in the packet.
Except for your report.
That's where the tire roundup information is at.
10 tires in one house?
10 tire limit per customer. So you could do that. No commercial vendors, must just give some sort of proof that you do have, that you do actually have services with the city. No heavy equipment tires. So that's what we're proposing as far as the cleanup. We do have, Hector can attest to this, we do have tires that have been, that's part of our issue with illegal dumping, is tires. There's tires, and Hector's told me stories about William Road and some of these other places, they're just tires that are thrown out there. Our hope is that people will utilize this, we're gonna pay for it. I think the trailer that we're looking at utilizing is running around, $4,000-5,000, give or take. And we'll be disposing of tires, so people can go do it for.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So-
Rodriguez.
Okay, we're doing brush bulky pickup, we've always done that, now we have the tire. Okay, we're gonna have a lot of stuff in our front yards.
The tires will not be.
Okay, so the tire we're gonna dispose of, but we're gonna do bulky and we're gonna do brush, okay? My experience, and I'm sure half of this town, is that their stuff stays out for a month, 3 weeks, killing your grass, just sitting there, an eyesore. And also people coming in and digging through your trash and making a mess, picking up items for themselves.
Yeah.
We talked about it at one of our other council meetings, that we were gonna make sure they set a date.
Those are the ones.
Yeah, I mean, set a date for our street pickups.
Right.
This is just the broad date.
No, it's actually, we're telling people to have their brush and everything out by Friday, May 13th.
So May 13th, they're gonna pick up the whole town.
They're gonna do it the week of the 16th to the 20th. That's what I'm saying. That's one, we've had this discussion before, you're right. I agree. But they're doing it that week.
So we're just doing the same thing that we've done the last time. When we talked about it, we wanted, okay, this district's gonna be on this date.
Yeah.
This one is gonna be on this date. You're still giving us 3 or 4 days to just put it out there,
Mhm.
you know.
I think on that end, what I'm getting at is there are set dates. Now, it may not be.
We've always had set dates.
What I'm getting at, I agree with you. There's times when you've gone, there's been weeks that nothing's been picked up. I think this past time, we put it in the paper, people were aware. I think the last time was a communication issue, the time before this, but last time we did the brush, I wanna say that for the most part, a lot of the brush was picked up. Now, what we do have is that people, we go and pick brush up, and then people will go and dump more brush and say, hey, come on, well, you didn't, nobody ever picked anything up. We run into that. We also have people that say, I'm not gonna wait till May 13th, I'm gonna put my stuff out April today, and it sits there for over a month. Now, we can't, to some extent, we can't control that. We're asking people to cooperate with us and say, hey, look, have it out by May 13th. We've talked to our contractor, we're telling them, we want this stuff picked up during this week, but we're asking you to help us to make sure that it's out, and that we come by and do our part with the contractor. What we've had in times back is, well, they're behind, they can't get here. I mean, believe me, I think we.
They serviced Dilly before they serviced the whole 3 weeks before they even came and serviced us.
And that's where I'm saying on that, and we put it in the paper, and that's what I'm saying, this time I've been here, I think this last cleanup, the brush cleanup, in my opinion, was a lot more, it's a lot better than what I've seen. And we advertised it, we put it on Facebook, we put it in the paper, we put it on bills, we're doing the same thing with this. So it can't be, some extent we can only do our part, but on that end, there has to be some participation from the citizens.
Councilman Hernandez.
Yes, I think what we're referring to is the fact that we were supposed to get a set schedule for the whole year, saying they will be here during this week, and then again during this week, every quarter.
We have
We have.
Okay, where is that?
We,
Do we have a copy?
We've provided, we can give it again, but we provided the schedule, and we can provide it again. We have the 2 bulk pickups and the brush pickups, that's twice a year. We have brush pickup 4 times a year. And that's noted, not only in the contract.
The dates are set.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
We can get you a
Maybe I
copy.
missed
Okay.
All right, council, thank you. Is there any other questions? We have a motion and a second on the table. If there being any other questions, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. James, you in?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. All right, item M, discuss and consider approval of the record rotation list for the City of Pearsall Police Department. This is an action item. I'll call for a motion and a second. Motion by Councilman Hernandez, second by Councilwoman Trevino. We turn the floor over to our chief. Chief, go ahead.
Yes, council, you should have in your packet a memorandum from me to the city manager explaining to them that we did follow all the criteria as per the ordinance, and the people that were listed, which were 3 towing companies, are the ones that submitted the application and were able to fit all the criteria as per the ordinance. I also put copies of not only the TDLR verification that they are licensed and insured, I also put copies of their own insurance to verify and re-verify that they are insured. These are gonna be the 3 rotation tow companies. I'm already purchasing the permit stickers for their vehicles as per the ordinance and for their establishments. Any questions?
Mayor, if there's no other questions, I would like to go ahead and approve the record rotation.
Okay, very good. That's Pearsall Towing, Minimum Towing and Payas. There's a motion and a second. We've already had that. No other questions. I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Thank you.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much, Chief. All right, item N, discuss and consider ordinance number 2022-0402, adopting the 2018 mechanical code. This is an action item. I'll look for a first and a second. A motion by Councilwoman Hernandez, a second by Councilwoman Talamontes. City Manager, you have the floor.
this is actually a mechanical code that applies to all, primarily to commercial businesses. We've had some questions as far as from businesses that are looking at establishing, the business or making improvements, asking what mechanical code we follow, and we're requesting the adoption of the 2018 edition. And again, that's just for their knowledge as far as the contractors that are working on this. And again, this is primarily for commercial establishments to understand what a mechanical code, what we mean by that is HVAC. Your ventilation systems, all that stuff is all in mechanical code. That's what that pertains to.
My understanding, we were missing that. This now makes us complete.
Right.
Oh, so it's gonna give them, we're gonna get more phone calls. So is this that 2018 edition of International Mechanic Code, is that the only code that we can go by?
I think there's older versions. I think the oldest, they usually go in 2-3-year increments, so you could do a 2015, 2012, but if there's any other mechanical codes, I'm not aware.
So what's on here that we haven't been, cause I'm not gonna vote for anything that I don't know what I'm voting on, because I get those phone calls when these people are trying to update their, make renovations to their building, or they're trying to bring a business into town, and they're getting all kinds of problems.
Right.
So what I wanna know is, what does this mechanical code have in here that's gonna require these business owners to do?
It basically requires any HVAC company, your Maverick HVAC, to gives them some, whatever code they need to follow. That's when they ask it to. They know this, they know what code, they'll say, what code are you guys using? Well, we don't have a code for commercial businesses. So in that case, they'll use a code. They're gonna do stuff to code, but it's always that, okay, what code are you using? Are you using a 15 code? Are you using 12 code? That's primarily what it is.
But what does that 15 code mean? Because I don't know anything about this.
Well-
So I want to know, what does that code is it,
It's a standard that the state,
is it a code that they're going to require 10-ton AC for their building size? Or it's just, are they going to tell the business owners what they can put, what they have to put in?
those codes are established by the state.
The contractors and/or the architects or engineers, the mechanical engineers will tell, again, depending on the business, right, will tell them what they need. I mean, that's not, all the inspectors are there for, say, hey, did you build it up to code, and inspect it, that's what they do.
So it's like a recommendation, like for the AC?
Actually, the actual code, it's basically saying this is what you're governed by whenever you, now again, it's something to where we could say right now, we don't have the code, but I'll tell you this, the HVAC companies know that they have to do something, right? They have to apply.
Yeah, but
some
I'm
sort
saying
of-
for the business owners, I'm not saying about an AC company, because the AC company's gonna tell them what code they need. They're gonna say, I want a bigger AC, you need a bigger AC, guess what? They're the ones that make the money. Versus a business that says, I don't want a central unit.
Right.
I want a window unit. So I get the calls, I'm sure everybody else does, but I get them. And we have voted for some international codes that I had no idea what they were. And I promised the people that I would not vote on something that I have no idea with. So it has an AC, and what else does it have in there?
Anything related to ventilation, anything related to the air you breathe in the building.
So the ventilation, meaning it just depends on the square footage of the building, or?
I can't quote the code to you, you're talking a book that thick, I will be the last one to tell you.
Yeah.
But I will
But
tell
they
you-
have to follow the code by state.
It's-
When they
it's
get
a
their
standard, in
certification,
essence, is what
the
it is.
certification tells them you have to follow this code.
And again, we're not doing anything in my opinion.
For like all the like boutiques and all that, they have to follow those codes, like they have to have a certain AC in there, they have to have certain ventilation, when they don't have people in there every day.
Assuming whatever it is they wanna do, I don't know what somebody's scope of work, if somebody has, like right now, has an air conditioner, but they wanna basically improve their air conditioning or ventilation system, I would be the last person to tell you, this is what you need from my standpoint, because
Will it require them to put a central unit?
that would be up to whoever they hire as a contractor. They're gonna tell them, hey, if this is what you want, this is what's gonna be required. That's what.
I just don't wanna put on any new businesses coming in,
Mhm.
any potential businesses coming in, any mom and pops that are from here, that are trying to start a little business, and, we're having a little mom and pop store getting built right now. It's costing over $75,000 just to go up to par with code.
Right.
Versus the other places don't have it.
Mhm.
The thing is that this international code that we're trying to approve, since we never had it, were we in non-compliance? Or it's just a city option?
I don't know that it's an option. Again, I wouldn't be telling you anything. I can't tell you that it's an option, maybe the city attorney could, but I can tell you that we're no different than any other community that our size that adopts these same standards. I will venture to say, I bet, Soda Pop would say that we're not any different than.
Fred, I have a question on our plumbing code and our construction code, are they all the 2018 year?
I believe some of them were adopted, most of them were 18, some maybe 15, and we adopt them as amended. So I think as they get amended, yes, sir. So-
And Councilman Hernandez, I remember.
They were all 18,
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, we adopted a lot of those codes because there previously wasn't one. Okay, all right, is there any other questions, council, regarding this? Okay, we have a motion and a second on the table. Having no other questions, I'm gonna ask for a vote. Please raise your hand. All in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, all in favor, all against?
I want to abstain because I really don't understand all the codes like this.
You'd have to vote.
You have to vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 So again,
I'm a no.
all against, raise your hand. Councilwoman Hernandez, did you vote for or against? Against, okay, it's a tie, 3-3, I will vote for it, that, motion passes.
So I'm
Okay.
gonna give y'all the phone calls.
Item O, discuss and consider the appointment of qualified individuals